Moira Stillwell joins us on the set right now, and you're an MLA from Vancouver.
I am.
And perhaps you can tell me why you were invited to this event, do you think?
Well, I think I was invited because of in my previous capacity as the Minister of Advanced Education. I launched an initiative called Year of Science in British Columbia that was an initiative about raising awareness and engaging parents, teachers, and students into the idea, more ideas about science, the importance of science in community, culture, economics, and to try and encourage more people to be literate in science or even pursue careers in science.
So what prompted you to do that?
It really came from a bigger idea, is that I was interested in science policy, and I thought it was important for people to continue to really understand that basic research is funded by taxpayers. And it has been for a long time and probably will be for a very long time. So it's very important, in my view, for people to view it as an important public good, important for society, important for the economy, important for commerce. And so I thought the more that we can have those conversations about the importance of science to everyday life in British Columbia, the better off we'll be.
So what do you think the impact was from that then? What have you,
it was received. I would say that for the people who were involved with it, who went to the science expos, who went to one or more of the more than 1,300 science-based community events, I think people appreciated it. Parents love it. Teachers like it because when you make science fun and interesting, it engages the students and prompts more questions and hopefully involvement and study in the classroom. And of course the kids love it because it's just something fun to do. So on whole, I think that people expressed a lot of appreciation for the idea, the ideas, and the events.
So where does it go? What is the impact?
You hope it was meant to have ongoing impact and legacy. Sometimes the vagaries of politics and the budget issues that we face in these economic times. There were some legacies at the end of it. $1 million investment in Science World, for example. It really, however, I have to say, was a pilot at a point in time, but I think what it showed is the receptivity and interest in the population around science, and so hopefully we'll be able to build on it in the future.
Simplistic point of view here, it seems like a lot of people, when they think of science, they remember school, they remember biology, chemistry, and physics, and that seems to be the extent of it. Many people might even wonder, why did I have to take that to get to where I am today? How do you get across to people the importance of science to Canada and to themselves as well?
I think that's important because we try to address science in actually the broadest possible sense, and really about knowledge creation. And that it was important for parents, students to not say, well, I'm not going to be a scientist. But the fact is, if you're figuring anything out, solving problems that help you personally or to make a living, whether it's growing a bigger blueberry or figuring out how to make a machine more efficient in your mining operation, we all innovate in our jobs and lives every day, and we do that using knowledge creation and analysis and solving of problems. So we tried to make it very broad because everybody loves to solve problems.
It's interesting because some of the people I've had a chance to meet here at the conference have talked about the similarities between the arts and science
of course,
when it comes to creativity. Yet when you look at campuses, they often end up being on either ends.
Exactly.
Which is often how people think of it as well.
Well, I think that speaks to the next conversation that's linked to talking about science, and that's talking about education. What you just described is true, that on most campuses you have to choose between a degree in arts or a degree in sciences. I mean, what a false boundary, and it doesn't serve an individual's needs or society's needs.
When you look at a conference like this, it's the 4th year that it's been held, and they're looking at science policy. They think that there should be something, a big umbrella policy for the country. Does that make sense to you as a politician?
Yes, very much so. I think that even just in the area of politics and public policy, we want to use science, that's knowledge and data analysis, to make sure that the decisions we make as politicians are the best decisions that they can be. So I think even just knowledge creation around how we live together as a community and country is a whole area for science.
And something like this, you think, can help bridge some of the gaps?
Oh, absolutely. I'd like to see more people from just the lay public coming to hear what people have to say and engaging in these really, really important discussions.
So they talk about communication being very important when it comes to academia to business, business to government, back to academia again. Communication, but they say that a lot of the barriers that are put up in Canada are provinces putting up barriers against each other and doing their own thing as opposed to working together. How do you bridge those gaps?
Well, I think this is a challenge not just between provinces but between countries. And so as a politician who believes firmly in funding basic science research, the next questions though are quite regional if you're in provincial government. How much should we be investing of taxpayers' dollars? What is the return on investment for British Columbia? How do the benefits of people's own tax dollars come back to people in BC? And of course, the way money and ideas flow across very porous borders, it's a challenging question today.
Well, because you look at it, how does this impact BC? Here in this province, it's how does this impact Alberta?
Of course.
Why is it that it's not looked at, how does this impact Canada?
Well, you know, in some big science projects, it does, but you know, it often depends where the money is from too. So, and ultimately, as politicians like to say, there's only one wallet. So whether it's federally funded, regionally funded, or funded at a local university, people rightly want to know how are these tax dollars being spent, and how do I know they're being spent in the best possible ways? I mean, I'm a great supporter of science, but that is a challenge to everyone. Nobody's entitled to the money. They have to show that this is the best and highest use for the tax dollars. So it's a challenge. Collaboration is what people want to see. They want to see sharing of information. And that is part of how the public measures that the dollars are being well spent.
And a conference like this obviously enables you to network and meet the people that you would likely end up having to have conversations with.
For sure, it's been great.
Moira, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We've been chatting with Dr. Moira Stillwell, MLA from Vancouver, British Columbia.